This is the Apple Pie Eggnog. Ho ho ho! What is the crack? Welcome to the channel. This is the Rusty Bartender's Christmas Advent Calendar, and today's episode features a very special guest. It is Leandro from the Educated Barfly, one of the absolute cocktail legends on YouTube. If you don't know who he is, I'm finding that very hard to believe.
An elf, yes.
Leandro was one of the first, I guess, ever creators I followed on YouTube when it came to cocktails. I just find the way he tells the history of the drinks so interesting. Explains them very well, and his channel is actually quite funny. But I guess you already know that because that's why you clicked on this video. Anyway, you're here to see how to make his drink, the Apple Pie Eggnog. Over to you.
What's up, guys? First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you guys. When Ben asked me to do this, I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't done any Christmas stuff in a few years. I've been a little bit grinchy, even though it is one of my favorite holidays. So today I'm gonna be doing a Christmas cocktail just for you guys. I can't very well get through the holidays without my absolute favorite holiday drink, and of course, that's eggnog. But this year I was really questioning myself about what exactly makes a holiday cocktail. You know, a lot of people put cocktails on the internet, especially during the holidays, and call them holiday cocktails, and then just zhuzh something up that looks visually appealing, but doesn't really encapsulate the holidays. And this year I wanted to make something that really encapsulates the holidays. And I thought I'd do that by doing a twist on one of my absolute favorite eggnog variations, the General Harrison's eggnog, which adds a little bit of cider into the eggnog. But instead of using cider, I thought today we would use some applejack. And I thought that to really make it very holiday, you know, kind of flavored and festive, we'd do that with an infusion. So I have this jar preloaded with 25 grams of mixed pears and apples. And instead of using fresh ones, I'm using freeze-dried ones. Now, while making an infusion using freeze-dried fruit is superior to fresh fruit because the freeze-drying process will remove the water under vacuum, and that pulls not every single bit, but about 99% of the water out of the fruit. So you get this really robust flavor inside your infusion. You're really infusing the flavor of exactly what it is. And it's a little bit better than dehydrating. While I do infuse dehydrated stuff in there, the dehydration usually goes under a little bit higher heat, and so it changes the flavor of the fruit, whereas the freeze-drying process really keeps that fresh fruit flavor intact. So I'm gonna take my jar here, I'm gonna pop it open, and I'm just gonna add 1 stick of cinnamon, and I'm just gonna kind of break that up. And then in here, I have a little bit of star anise, just a little bit because I really don't want to play up that licorice flavor. And then I have a little green cardamom pod and some allspice berries. And I'm just going to take a little muddler here, and we're just going to crush those up. You want to open up that cardamom to really expose the inside berries, and then we want to crush up that allspice as well, and then we're just going to toss that in like so. And then I have a little bit of applejack here. I wanted to really play up the apple theme. I'm using the White Lightning applejack, and this is pre-portioned at 375 mils because I've already made one of these jars this season. And so what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna pour the full 375 mils here, and we're using this unaged expression because I really wanna make sure that we have all of the flavor of the fruit and spices without any of the barrel notes that you'll get with aged expression. Now, although you can let this sit for a long time, the longer you sit, the more intense the flavor is gonna get. We're just gonna give this a 24-hour infusion, and then we're gonna come back and make our eggnog.
24 hours later.
Well, we're back, and as you can see, I've got my infusion. I don't know if you can take a look at that, but it looks like it's nicely infused. Let's give it the old sniffy pants and see how it did. Oh yeah, smells like apple pie. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Just gonna take a clean jar here. I'm gonna do this so as not to make a mess. And we're gonna use a nut milk bag because this is the best way to do this. Okay, and we're just gonna add our nut milk bag like so. And then add in our applejack. Try not to spill too much. And honestly, you have a whole bunch of booze flavored pears and apples now too, so you can eat those if you want. All right, and then we're just gonna, this is what I like to do here. We're just gonna squeeze as much liquid as we can out and try not to make a mess while we're doing it. You want to get every single little last drop of booze that you can out of this, because the freeze-dried fruit will hold a lot of that liquid, so you really got to squeeze it out. All right, on to the eggnog. So of course we're going to need our apple pie applejack. We're going to need some Demerara syrup, a little heavy cream, and a egg. And this is going to be real simple. Let's grab out our tools. Typically I would have this chilled, but because I want you guys to see what the cocktail's supposed to look like, we're going to just do it in a non-chilled glass. But when you're doing it at home, always chill your glassware. And if you want the recipe for the batch amount that will serve about 10 people, let me know and I'll get that to you. So we're just going to grab our tin here, and we are going to do 1 ounce of heavy cream, half an ounce Demerara Simple, a full egg, and last but certainly not least, 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of our spirit. And we are going to first give this an emulsifying shake. And next, we're going to take a big cube right here, and we're going to shake it with that one big cube. Since it's just out of the freezer, we're just going to let it sit. It's going to crack a little bit, and then it's going to reform, because we don't want it to break up into too many pieces when we shake it. And we'll just strain it into our glass. And then we're just going to garnish with a little bit of nutmeg, like so. And here it is, our apple pie eggnog. Let's give it a taste. That is everything that I want it to be. It tastes like apple pie. It's nice and strong with that 100 proof applejack. And then it's got all of the nice creaminess and holiday cheer that eggnog brings you. Eggs, cream, and booze is my absolute favorite thing. I don't know if you can tell, but I love it. So here it is, guys. Have a very happy Christmas or holiday, and have a wonderful New Year. And back to you, Ben.
Okay, before I taste Leandro's eggnog, I didn't make your recipe exactly the way you said, because I could not find unaged applejack anywhere near where I live, and I only had regular applejack. So my infusion is probably going to taste a little bit different than yours. Should still be good though. And on another note, I kind of cheated because I didn't have enough time to dehydrate my own fruit before I infused that, because I literally had to make it 2 days ago. So I'm hoping the infusion carried enough flavor for this. On that note, this local supermarket has freeze-dried Fuji apples and freeze-dried pears. Absolute bonus for me. So just chucked them in the mason jar, like you said, added the applejack. Bob's your uncle. Quick infusion. Anyway, let's have a look, see what's going on in the glass. Had to go for a second sip because I couldn't believe what my taste buds were telling me there, Leandro. Apple pie in a glass. That's fantastic. My God, that is easy to drink, man. When you sent me the message of you weren't sure whether your recipe was going to work or not, it's 100% worked, mate. That is cracking. Give this one a try, folks. Apple Pie Eggnog. Cheers. We'll see you on the next one. Apple fucking pie, man.